Well, hey YouTubers, welcome back to the channel. It's been a few months. Had a big major computer crash, and now I've got new software, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But this is all about pickled green tomatoes. And what's happened is, since I've been gone, is the tomatoes did not ripen due to the weather conditions that we have here in Arkansas. So I'm going to take about 7 pounds of these, cut them up in quarters. Hopefully, I'll come out with about 5 good pounds is what I'm hoping, because I figure maybe 10 pints, maybe I'll get 10 pints. That ought to be enough for me and the family here. But I wanted to show it, and went on to the internet, found a recipe, cut these up in quarters, so they're kind of big, and I want big chunks. I don't want something that's going to be really small and thin. I was afraid if I cut them too thin, they may soften up when I run them through the water bath. But that's kind of what we're looking at right there, and like I say, they are turning out good. I hope so, and we'll do a follow-up video on them and see how they do. These are the pickling spices. Use 2 tablespoons of pickling spice. Then also going to use some apple cider vinegar, and this stuff is 5% acidity. And we're also going to use white. 2 cups of that, by the way. And then the kosher salt. Now, this does not go into the actual recipe that goes in the jar. The kosher salt is going to be put on the tomatoes to set in the fridge. There was also the garlic and the sugar. I'll do a list of ingredients at the bottom of the screen down here. 2.5 cups of white distilled vinegar, like I say, 5% acidity. These were the bad ones that I just didn't think would look good, so we'll throw those in the mulch bin. No reason to run all that down the garbage disposal. And there we are, 5 pounds of green tomatoes, cut in quarters. Some of them a little thinner than that. This is where I took the quarter a cup of kosher salt, mix it in with the tomatoes. I'm going to also put some onion in here in a minute. Make sure they're all covered good and mixed in. Oh, there's the jars. I got those setting aside there. They're ready to go. More jars than I need. But here was the onion. I took the whole onion and just sliced it and then just cut across it one time. Split the rings so they'll be pretty good sized chunks too. Mix them in real good with the salt. Now this is, like I say, supposed to dry them out. Pack ice on top of the container. Um, I don't know what the purpose for this was, but that's what it said do, so that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to cover it with aluminum foil, and I put it in the refrigerator for 4 hours. And like I say, this is going to draw most of the moisture out of these tomatoes and onions. Here's the garlic that I showed you a little bit earlier. I raised this stuff this year, matter of fact, my first batch of garlic. It don't have to be real small pieces. I'm just going to cook it in with the pickling sauces and give it a little flavor. There's the dry ingredients. And now we're getting ready to put in the vinegar that we've got ahead. And I also add an extra cup of water. There's the jars going back there, getting them all heated up so they'll be sterilized. Now, after you get the tomatoes and the onions out of the fridge, after 4 hours, rinse all that salt off real good, because this is going to be more of a sweet type pickling. It actually was almost like a bread and butter. It's really sweet. And I got it all rinsed. Now I'm going to make sure they dry really good. Get all the moisture off. Got all my utensils ready so we can get the process going. Like I say, the jars, got the fire going under them. There's my hot water bath canner. $10 deal at a flea market. Brand new, matter of fact. Then the sauce is on the pickling solution is on the back burner there. Here we go. Gonna get the jars out and got them, like I say, disinfected really good. And then we're going to start just dry packing these in here. Here we go. I'm going to do 5 first because that's all that my water bath will hold. No special thing about this. Just get them in there best you can. Okay, now we're going to take the pickling solution, which this is, I don't know if you've ever took and boiled vinegar on the stove in the house. It really has a distinct smell to it. We're going to make sure we've got at least a 1/2 inch of headspace on each of these. I'll take and fill them up best I can now, then take and push most of the air bubbles out that I can get out. There we go. Maybe that'll get most of them out. And then if I have to add a little more, I can. I didn't really pack the jars real full, but it doesn't matter as long as you've got that up to the top. Now let's take the lids also out of the hot water and the rings. Just kind of get them all on there, and then we're going to hand tighten them down to snug them up. They ain't got to be real tight now, just as long as they are snug. And then once we get them on there and get them snugged up, then we'll start lifting the jars and put them over into the water bath. You got to be careful by picking these up and lifting them and setting them in there, and make sure they're not against each other, because when the water gets to boiling, it will actually bang the jars against each other and could crack one of them. Now, you notice here there's not enough water. Of course, it's hard to tell until you get the jars in there. So now I'm going to ladle hot water over the tops of them until you get at least 1 inch above those lids, and put that lid on. And we're going to set this thing for 10 minutes and let it boil for 10 minutes, and then take them out and set them aside and let them cool. Okay, our time has passed. There's the other 4 jars. I've got the first 5 out and on the countertop, and they're starting to cool now. Matter of fact, it sounds like most of the lids have already sealed pretty quick. But that's the finished product, what it kind of looks like. And actually, I ended up with 9. Didn't get a full 10. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hope you like them. I love them with fried catfish. Thanks for watching.